Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome today to Alabasta Part 1, podcast hosted by... you're supposed to present yourself.
I'm Irish, as usual.
And
Your boy
with
TC.
him, your boy TC and I discussing this incredible anime that we're currently watching with
Beautiful.
delight and pleasure. Now, I will handle the strings of this podcast to the host.
Oh, well, thank you. We're gonna be covering everything from Alabasta, or just like the first half of Alabasta. Unlike every other podcast we've done, we've realized that we're trying to cover too much in one podcast, so we'll be only covering shorter amounts but going in more in depth. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. So we're going everywhere from sailing to Alabasta to Luffy versus Crocodile. So, first thing we do is we meet Mr. 2. And the way you meet Mr. 2 is very unique among meeting new characters. Pan, what was your first thoughts on Mr. 2?
He was very awkward, to say the least. Very, very awkward. I was uncomfortable the whole time he was talking to his crewmates, and I just did not enjoy him talking.
You didn't like the ballerina?
No. I'm scared of him than I am the snakes.
Jesus.
I'm with Pan here. He was a bit weird.
Oh, absolutely. But it's Mr. 2.
Mr.
Bon Clay.
Can I just say, like, come on, dude. Like, if you're at least gonna be a ballerina, like, at least shave those damn legs.
Bro, for real, bro.
Come on.
How you gonna call yourself beautiful when you got legs looking like fucking Bigfoot out here?
Not even, bro. He has like 3 hairs in each leg, and I'm probably growing. Like,
He got the Charlie Brown.
Yo, he had some
legs.
pretty hairy legs. Don't go telling him only 3. Those were some hairy ass legs.
Okay,
Listen,
all I'm saying is he could put some those long socks that girls wear. I don't know.
the tube socks. Oh my god.
Yeah, that thing. Or he could just
The
shave it.
fishnets. The fishnets that run all the way up.
I know in Spanish is medias, but I don't know how to say it in English.
Disgusting.
Oh my god.
That man is just disgusting.
But
Well, you find out he has a devil fruit, the clone fruit, which is very dangerous in the hands of the enemy.
It just makes him more scary. I don't know what else to
type
say,
of person
bro.
to get infiltrated. I can say, like, it's weird though, because of his devil fruit and his spontaneous yet weird nature, he actually ends up fitting in with the crew in a weird way.
Absolutely. Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper were all dancing with him.
But they shouldn't trust this dude. You do really
Well,
think he can infiltrate.
They
Okay.
they don't know.
Yeah,
They don't
know.
expect someone who could do the clone fruit and perfectly replicate Nami's boobs.
That sent me off. He's like a 10 out of 10 of do not come near me or we're throwing hands.
What, you're afraid of him showing something off?
Bro. Nah, I'm good. Because under the glorious
Luckily-
body of Nami, that's a man. That's a man.
Luckily, he doesn't clone the memories and doesn't get the memories of the person he clones. Because that would be broken.
Yeah, that would be OP.
Because
He
then,
would be
Zoro's plan with the armband would just be pointless. But no, wait, Mr. 2 touched them after. So I think, never mind.
Dude, he would not. He would probably lead his own organization.
I don't think so. I think
Information is power.
You're right, but I think that would make him Mr. One then. But we don't know who Mr. One is yet.
Yeah,
We did meet him though, but that's a little bit later on.
yeah.
So Zoro's plan. Do you? All right. Since Tony finished Alabasta, he knows what Zoro's plan was. What do you think Zoro's plan was with the
He
bands?
was with the bands on their arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Do you think he has a master
Basically,
plan, or do you think it's just the bands?
honestly, it's kind of both because on one end, it's to tell who's who and who's like actually real, just in case Mr. Two decides to copy their image and whatnot. But it's to also show that their end is together.
Right.
So like togetherness in a sense in that way.
Hmm.
Right on. All right. So after that, they land in Alabasta. Now I have to ask, what was your opinion on Alabasta? Like, what kind of place did you think Alabasta would be? Like island? Like you just came from Little Garden, a very jungle-infested island. You just came from Drum Island, a very snow blizzard island. Like, what were you expecting from Alabasta as an island?
Um, I'm pretty sure back on Whiskey Peak they said something about Vivi being the queen of the sand or something like that.
Oh, did they say
So
something like that?
I'm pretty
Yeah, there's
sure.
a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah,
To
so
There was.
Alabasta
I
Desert.
mean, yeah, I
Which,
kind
by
of
the way,
figured.
side note, if you guys want Drum Island, because it's an introduction of a new character and we kind of just skipped over it, please leave a comment, let us know. Anyways, back on track.
To them, this will be coming out after Drum Island.
You could have told me that beforehand.
So for people who are a little confused right now, we're recording this a little out of order. So we're doing Alabasta's recording first, then we're going back to Drum Island.
Breaking the
Just
fourth wall.
we're breaking the fourth wall with this, but that's kind of the plan. Anyways,
Hey,
so
but
they were foreshadowing Alabasta being like a desert country, right?
yeah, I
Hmm.
kind of figured it would be like deserty, probably like very hot, and then cold at the night, like most deserts are.
It's gonna be the Old West, the Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
But yeah. So now you get Nami preaching to the crew, "Hey, don't go wandering off. We're only here for supplies." And
Yeah.
Zoro makes the comment, "The one who needs to hear it's already gone."
That man's quick to his feet.
He
I feel
just
like even if he was there, he wouldn't. He probably would go wander around or something. I don't know.
Have you noticed every single island they've gone to, Luffy just the second they land just beelines
wow.
it into the valley. He just
He-
completely just goes like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys later."
Not really.
That's him,
Drum
bro.
Island.
He's an adventurous.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah, Drum Island was a little bit
Well,
different.
but that's different.
Yeah.
That was for a crew where this is like a new island Luffy hasn't been to yet.
And they had a reason to. He had a reason to be serious there.
And then you have the crew's reaction to this. Just look for where the noise is,
Where all the commotion is. Yeah, just go there.
which ends up to be true.
Yep. That's Luffy for you.
So as Luffy's just running in the middle of a desert, not even in a town, you get Zoro and crew walking through the town under Usopp's amazing disguise.
Number
Wait,
one
is-
favorite disguise ever.
I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but like I feel like that under the circumstances the country's in, they just like ignore it. Like, oh, what is this? We got bigger problems to worry about.
Oh, absolutely.
They just see like a sheet with people under it and just like, and that's normal.
Well, did you guys pick up on how big they said the country was? You probably did, Tony. But like, Pan, did you realize how big they said the country is? Like the population?
No.
It's
Oh, I thought you meant like in terms of the landmass.
Like in all of Alabasta, it's like the population's well in the millions.
Oh
Like,
wow.
this is a big country. Because they
Yeah.
talked about the Revolutionary Army having over 700,000 men. So, like, this is a massive country. And, like, you don't really get the perspective of that in the beginning of Alabasta, but this is one massive country. So, like, the rebellion, when Vivi's panicking, she doesn't want anyone to die. Like, she's talking about hundreds of thousands of people dying.
I want to say
Well,
something, but I feel like I'd be jumping ahead.
i-
Like,
in
way too ahead.
in my perspective, like this is like bringing it into general cases now.
Actually, I have a question for Pan. Pan, if you
Yeah.
recall in Logtown, when Dragon stopped Smoker from capturing Luffy, and he tells him, or I forgot who said it exactly, but someone mentioned, like Luffy would be like a determining factor in the future of kind of the whole world, but well, their world. Why do you think they say that? Like at this point in the series or in this point in the show?
He has no
Honest,
context for that, just so you know.
um, honestly, like the whole thing about Dragon being so mysterious, it kind of like makes me think he has some type of relationship with Luffy. Like
Huh?
whether it be like not like a relationship like that. Like
Just so you know, Dragon wasn't the one who
No,
said it.
I'm pretty sure it was
uh
Smoker who said it.
Smoker said it, not Dragon, and Smoker said it in relation to how he saw Luffy on the execution platform.
I
That's
think
why
he's
Smoker said that, but Dragon was not the one who said it.
oh never mind then. Um
The only thing
because
Dragon said was King of the Pirates. He like commented on Luffy wanting to be King of the Pirates. That's all Dragon really said.
oh well if we're talking about Smoker then uh Smoker I think once he's seen Luffy like Isle just like Goldie Roger
Wait,
that
hold up.
was all
I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm gonna cut you.
oh my god.
I'm not specifically asking like what Smoker or Dragon thinks about Luffy. I'm more saying like, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, you're asking for his prediction.
Yes, because he's seen up to like Luffy's death, right?
Yeah, he saw up to Luffy's death.
Spoilers. Jesus.
Well, it's in the podcast. Like, it's
the
in the
podcast.
area of
I'm
generalization where we're covering. But yeah, I like
so
that
what
question.
what do I think is gonna happen?
So,
Um
how do you? Yeah, I like that.
I wanna say Luffy doesn't find the one that easily, obviously. And he does become a great pirate and he grows to be more mature. That's just like a thing when growing up. He still has the same like traits,
So
obviously.
here's my question. Like, further going more in depth with it. What do you think's gonna happen that's gonna make Luffy that person? That's gonna
The
change the
person.
world. Like, what do you think Luffy's gonna do that's gonna change something?
777.
Um, I honestly don't know.
Do you think he's going to?
That's fair. I'll take that.
All right. How about you, Tony? What do you think Luffy's gonna do?
Well, I'm ahead.
You're not far enough ahead. What do you think's
Dude, I'm
gonna
further
happen?
ahead than Pan, so I don't want to like spoil things for
Just
him.
give me your prediction. Without going into spoilers, without spoiling Pan, what do you think's gonna happen that Luffy's gonna change the world?
Okay. Either no, he
Just
won't.
just be vague, so like I would understand, but Pan won't.
Okay, we don't have.
It's tough.
No, the name slipped my tongue.
Okay, don't worry about it.
No,
So
no, no. Okay, I
we're,
can
we're
back-
getting
I
so
can
far
back-
off
no,
topic.
no, no,
We're
no,
gonna
no,
get back on.
Hold on.
We really are.
No. I don't think we don't have much context on Roger, so I'm not sure if I can say he'll become another one. But if he does get like that much reputation and as strong as like the king of the pirates in his former self, but he seems to be like a good version of him, or then again, we don't have context on him, so I can't really say. So he would be going around the world, making it literally a better place, doing good deeds.
Oh,
That
so you think it's
he's
how
the
he's going to
cycle of
affect
everything.
the world? I got you.
Yes.
I got you. All right. Anyways, back on the topic. Luffy is in the middle of the desert and runs into a weird green powder and a man with a dream.
Ah, yes.
Man with a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
His dream to make the dance powder and sell it, and Luffy ate all of his stock and burned it.
He didn't eat all of it. He just burned all of it.
He ate some of it and then said it was poison and threw it out.
Listen, that man just ate some methamphetamines, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not with it, son. I'm putting this all in the fire."
And then he scams the dude too. He's like, "I won't turn you in if you give me food." The dude gives him food, and he was like, "I could have turned you in anyways." That's funny.
And the funny thing is, when they part ways, he tells him he's a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, well then.
I think the funny thing is when he came out, and Luffy was like, "So tell me what the weird powder stuff was that tasted nasty," and he kept on explaining it, and he's like, "I don't get it."
And the dude just goes, "Yeah, I didn't think you would." He goes, "Hey, old man, don't be rude," and punches him.
And just bonks him in the head. Bonk.
Alright, see you later, old rude guy.
Make sure you don't tell anybody about this, okay? Oh, yeah,
I
I'm a
might be
pirate.
mistaken, but I'm pretty sure in that scene, they gave us some background on what the king did with the dance powder.
No, they just said it was illegal. They didn't go into any in depth at that point.
Oh, let me
Yeah,
show my
he
mouse.
kinda-
Anyways,
So next it cuts to a man going through town with Luffy's wanted poster, looking for Luffy. Now, at this point in the story, we know it's Luffy's brother. However, what did you think was going on at that time? Who did you think that man was? Like,
we already caught a glimpse of him. I forget when. It was like a couple of episodes before Drum Island, where everybody was looking at the wanted poster of Luffy, and we seen him, and he left a message at Drum Island saying, "I'll be in Alabasta."
Yep.
So obviously something was going on there.
So who did you think he was? Did you
I thought
expect the brother?
No, not at all.
I did.
I thought he was gonna try to do business with Luffy or some type of
Alliance.
exchange. Yeah.
Okay. I will have to say, I thought it when I first watched it. I thought it was Luffy's brother off the start because of the hair
Mhm.
and the
That
way.
and the color scheme.
I wouldn't say. I just thought of because of the hair and the freckles. For some reason, I just thought it was Luffy's brother instantly.
The thing is, he's only asking for Luffy, and the characters look similar, but one's like a little bit
Exactly.
buffer, more fit, you could say, and Luffy's kind of like just skinny, slim.
Less Doffy. Bringing that
He's
back.
like Wiz Khalifa after 10,000 joints.
Jeez. All right. Anyways.
Moving on.
But yeah, we get cut to Luffy, or the crew's reacting to seeing a member of the Whitebeard Pirates looking for Luffy. Zoro's kind of a little panicked because he knows Whitebeard's like a really tough, bad pirate to be around. And then you get Luffy coming and running into a restaurant for food.
Knocking both Ace and Smoker through walls.
So, before we go any further, what was your reaction to seeing Smoker again? And Smoker in Alabasta?
Annoyed.
Why?
But then
Why?
again, I kind of expected it because I just don't like Smoker that much.
Really?
Really?
Now you're gonna have to elaborate that, especially for the people listening, because Smoker is a pretty favorite Marine, like one of the favorite.
I
Marines.
understand he's a pretty cool guy. I just
Alright.
I just don't understand why he couldn't just let Luffy slide just for now. You know what I mean?
So
Can I just say this? He does his job better than every single Marine general out there.
That is true. He did know
So,
that Luffy was going towards Alabasta, so props.
so he, as you can tell, you at this point you've met 3 different kinds of Marines.
Hold
You
on. Can I come back a little?
Sure.
Can I just say it's hilarious. Let me not cuss. It's hilarious when he Ace is sitting at the bar, right, and he's eating, and he just takes a nap in the middle of it.
That's
Everybody thinks he's dead, and then wakes up and start eating again.
Yo, Ace is that
You
boy,
can
bro.
confirm Luffy and him are brothers when Luffy runs into the restaurant.
he doesn't even realize that he knocked Smoker and Ace over. He was just like, all right, who knocked who over? Hey, those holes are some nice decorations. Like, oh my
Some weird
god.
decorations there.
Like, dude, everybody's like, you should run. Yeah, let me just finish this bowl of food when he's like with his mouth stuffed. And also, you also get like a glimpse into Ace's power and rank out there.
Well, not yet.
No, because think about it. The way he's talked to Smoker, you know what I mean? Like, you can notice the tone of that.
I think the best understanding of how untouchable Ace is, like I'm saying untouchable, is when he's on. Wait, never mind. Anyways, I was gonna spoil something, but never mind.
Jeez.
Anyways, you get to Luffy sitting there, and then Ace recognizes Luffy and goes, "Hey, Luffy!" And Smoker just face plants him into the ground, or Smoker face plants Ace into the ground, and then you have Luffy sitting there eating his food, and taking a minute to recognize Smoker.
He's just sitting there stuffing his face with food.
god.
And he's like, wait, isn't that the guy?
And then he
Spits
just
his
runs.
food out. Oh, you're a smoker guy.
What are you doing here? Starts running.
Well, he spit the food in Smoker's face first, then ran. Wait, first he spit the food in Smoker's face, grabbed the rest of the food, stuffed it in his mouth like a chipmunk, then ran, and then you cut to the crew, and they are currently. Alright, where's Luffy? We gotta get out of here. And then you have Sanji coming back. Some idiot pirate's causing a commotion with the Marines. And it just clicks in everyone's mind.
Like, they could just instantly tell it's Luffy.
Especially when he runs right by.
Blowing their cover.
Luffy just goes, "Hey, Zoro!"
Hey, you guys, I'm back.
Oh my god.
I love Luffy.
Well, then, as Smoker's about to catch all the Straw Hats, someone intervenes.
Ace.
Your boy Ace.
He comes in, and he has a flame fruit. Which, by the way, the more devil fruits I see, the more I think that Luffy got a pretty shitty one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I will say there are some worse ones out there.
seriously.
There are a lot worse ones out there. I will say never mind. You have to give respect to Luffy on how he has utilized the gum fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Like, we got one man that can turn into flame, and the other one can turn into smoke and control it at will.
so
And then you got the rubber
I don't
dude.
think they talked about it yet, but I'll kind of explain it because they don't really go in depth at any point in the story. There's 3 kinds of devil fruits. You have a
They did.
They did
They
go
did
into it.
explain it.
So you have a Logia, which are like aces and smokers, which they seem impossible to hit. Like they're some kind of element. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have a Paramecia, like Buggies and Luffy's, which contorts their body, like turns into a rubber, or they're able to cut. And then you have transformation stuff that's like Choppers. He can transform into a human or like a reindeer. He can transform. So those are the 3 kinds of.
So you're telling me there's a water devil fruit.
Most likely.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm taking it as a yes. Anyways, carry on.
Anyways, I just wanted to comment like there's because your comment on like how Luffy got a bad one. There are 3 different pens. But anyways, now that we got that out of the way, Ace saves the Straw Hats, and then you have the Straw Hats running away, and you kind of notice how
Luffy gets lost again. Sorry.
well, you notice how because you have a Devil Fruit, you might not be able to fight other Devil Fruit users. Because Ace makes the comment, "I'm fire, your smoke. This battle will never end."
Mm-hmm.
Because their elements only complement each other and never hurt each other. Which is a very interesting thing. So someone without a Devil Fruit user can beat a Devil Fruit user. Just saying.
Huh.
It's like since you're a big Pokemon fan, Pan, you find their weakness and you can beat them.
But see, this is where it gets weird. there is no type of smoke bot, all right?
Wind?
That's
What
flying.
about the ghost type?
That's
Alright.
nothing to do with it.
Anyways,
I commemorate your attempt.
An attempt was made.
Yep.
Anyway, carry on.
anyways,
So
you have a really cool moment where Luffy's watching the battle between them, and it looks like a massive tornado's happening, and you can see the power difference between Luffy and Smoker and Ace. Like you could see the difference, like how they actually have like power in them, and Luffy's like behind them. And then you get Luffy getting lost and running into his brother, which is a really cool moment. Someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that.
I guess let's carry on.
Yeah, that moment when Luffy and his brother were like arm wrestling. Oh my god, that joint was lit.
That's a little bit over what, like ahead of what I was gonna say, but I actually don't remember the figure part. But no, like remember when Luffy is running backwards to see the fight, and everybody else is telling him, "Come on, we gotta go! Like this is our chance! Like we gotta move to the Going Merry and get the hell out of here."
We gotta
Right.
go this way, no this way, and then Luffy just goes.
And he
straight
goes
back.
the other way, like he actually splits off and gets lost for the second time. And
Everyone's
then
always getting lost.
yeah, and then like Smoker and Ace get separated, and Ace finds Luffy while the rest of the crew gets into the Going Merry, and they figure out that he's not there. Like we're missing someone. Luffy, like you
We're
damn
missing
idiot.
something. No, not something. Someone.
Yep. And then you get them just like talking, chatting, right? And I'm pretty sure.
Don't
No,
they
that's-
set
that's
sail just to make sure that the Marines don't get to him, right?
But you got this other group of pirates that I forget their name. No. It was agents from Baroque Works. Because they were trying to get a promotion. Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
And they try to attack
Eleven
them
was on board.
while they're just walking, going back to the boat.
Mm.
And then they're just chilling, like nonchalant. They get there, they hear the threats. They kind of stop for a second, listen to what they got to say, and then just keep walking. And then someone tries something, and Luffy just like turns around and wrecks the shit out of them, and they just take out the whole thing in a heartbeat.
Yeah, bro.
Badass moment right there from the bros.
It was kind of weird how they took out Mr. 11 just to get up the ranks like faster.
Well, Baroque Works is like a
It's
worldwide.
pirates.
Well, they're not pirates. It's a bounty hunter organization, as they see it.
Mm.
And
Kind of
if you become a number agent, you get power. By power, I mean you control. So all the number agents control a faction of billions and billions, I think they called it. So if you
Millions
remember,
and millions.
so if you remember in Whiskey Peak, Vivi and her assistant, Mr. 8, and Miss 5, they controlled all of Whiskey Peak and all those workers. So becoming a number agent, they get it's like becoming a general of an army. Whereas you were only a captain or like a leader in an army, now you're actually controlling the entire thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Or a
that's why
simpler
people would
version,
want to do it. Plus
As
money.
Darwinson said, survival of the fittest.
Pretty much.
kill or get killed. Anyways, carrying on.
Where are we
Now
right
that our
now?
hers attended the door.
Oh yeah,
Wink.
they
Yeah,
my
totally.
neighbors were giving me toilet paper.
Did you? Were you just about to say toilet paper?
No, they actually gave me toilet paper.
Bro, that's lit.
Why are people? Why is the first thing they think of toilet paper?
Because all the stores are completely empty of toilet paper.
Touching into like real life for a second. Like, come on, essentials.
Okay, I'll make this quick because there was actually a thing about it that I read. Essentially, someone bought toilet paper a good amount, and they bought out like a store. Someone else panicked. We're like, oh, all the toilet paper's gone missing, and it kind of just spread. We're like, I'm gonna grab a bunch so that way I don't run out. And then someone else panicked. Was like, well, now I have to grab a bunch so I don't run out.
Now people are selling the product for more expensive
Well,
price.
they can't. Amazon and all them were banning it. Anyways, back into One Piece.
Yeah.
This is like a whole psychological thing. Anyways, did we get back to Luffy going back to the pirate and Ace meeting the crew?
Luffy was escaping from the pirates with Ace. They got in the boat and they were setting sail to, I forgot.
Ooh,
what?
Ace's introduction to the crew. And
Oh yeah.
the crew reacting to how Ace is nothing like Luffy. How Ace is
He's
super polite
constantly
and like
apologizing because of how annoying his brother can be, or like a burden, or just like hard to deal with, whatever you want to call it.
they're all like, and I love the crew's response because like they're all like, "Oh, Luffy, you're always a pain in my ass. You're always a pain. We always have to watch out for you." Ace shows up and they're like, "Oh no, not a problem at all." Like the entire crew actually, and you can see the entire crew enjoys Luffy's antics because they all are just like, "Oh no, not at all."
I mean, they got nothing else better to do, so might as well.
Funny old man. Zoro can be lifting some weights.
All right, but then I heard you guys talking about the battleships from Baroque Works, right?
Yeah, we were talking about how Mr. 11 was taken out for
Oh yeah.
for a higher rank for the group of pirates that took him out.
Yeah, those were the same guys that went after Ace and Luffy.
Hmm.
But then
And got messed up.
and they absolutely did. But then they got when they were on the Going Merry, they were sailing and the Baroque Works agents came around the corner, 5-ish ships I think it was, and
Yeah.
Ace just goes, "I'll handle it."
Drops the boat, uses his power, and just makes the boat go.
Mm-hmm.
Dips the boat under all 5 ships, jumps over, does like a 360 no scope, like blasts all the 5 ships. Like
There was no reason for him to do any of that fancy stuff either. He legit just went from one side, went over all of the ships, went under the ships with the boat, landed, and just did a blast. Like, ooh, that was so badass.
He reminded me of Mihawk for a second.
Yeah.
Like just a small canoe type ship, and with little to no effort takes down a whole fleet. But
So, alright, this is kind of like the big thing. You also find out why Ace is not with the Whitebeard Pirates at the moment. He's currently... he's the 2nd Division Commander, and there's a guy named Blackbeard who killed a member of the crew. And that's why Ace is out on his own right now.
mm-hmm.
So, now that you kind of know Ace's character a little bit, what are your thoughts on Ace? Like, because Ace ends up leaving, like, later on, so we all know when he leaves. So what are your thoughts on Ace and his first impressions?
I like him. He seems pretty cool. He's like a more heroic type Luffy, I would say.
I disagree.
How dare you?
Because Luffy's heroic. It's just that Ace is smarter than Luffy in the way he's heroic.
He's more
By a mile.
apologetic and whatnot. Yeah.
He's more mature, I guess you could say it.
Yes.
But when I first saw him, he kind of reminded me of Shanks.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Less drinking, though. Like, he, at least from what we saw, like, he's pretty chill, helpful.
So wait,
I don't know.
Wait, you said he's less what?
but less like party like. Because you know Shanks is always drinking.
Oh yeah, Shanks is always
And
So
that,
he doesn't
yeah,
like
and that's not like
party
Ace.
a lot.
Ace is like really calm. You don't really see his full
Yeah,
power.
he's
You know
really
what I mean?
calm-minded.
You're
Like,
telling me we saw
he doesn't-
Shanks'
he
full
doesn't
power?
He doesn't give himself away. If that makes sense.
I guess.
Like Luffy would jump into a fight and Gapling whatever and just start swinging everybody.
Gum, whatever.
Yeah,
movie
yeah, Gapling
says.
just start swinging. Whereas Asa's will like probably have like a head-to-head conversation with that person. And then,
Strategy.
yeah, and he also sees just much more civilized. Like he'll probably like he was helping around the ship. He has like genuine, serious conversations with Luffy is a rarity.
Yeah, that's actually true. Because Luffy's always like, join my crew! I'm gonna go to this island! And then he actually has a full-blown conversation talking about, like, crew. He's like, my crew is so interesting and, like, awesome. I just thought that was a cool moment.
All we need now is a musician.
Yeah, he's always wanted that musician.
He wanted
Well,
it before the doctor.
He
Before
wanted it
we-
before anyone else. He told Zoro right off the bat,
Before we
musician.
go on, I really do think he's going to get that musician. I can't wait.
I can tell you now, all the way caught up, he still does not have a musician.
I feel like it's gonna be a fighting musician.
A fighting musician?
Yeah, like a some type of I don't know. He has like a musician, but he probably has a devil fruit, and his weapon is his guitar.
His weapon is.
Why are you assuming it's not a
banjo.
drum set?
No,
How are they gonna have a guitar on a ship?
because it's gonna be guitar, and on the side has a piano.
It could be acoustic.
Exactly.
Anyways, so moving on, we finally meet the king. And I want your opinions on the king. Not like when you first met the king. And he was like, and the citizens were trying to complain to him. And he goes, I'll hear you out. Like, what were your opinions on the king? And the Revolutionary Army at the same time. Because this is the first time you actually see the situation.
I'm gonna let Pan go first because I'm pretty sure I'm getting the chronological shit of this messed up. So
When I first see the king, I automatically thought like, he's, pretty reasonable. He wants to help everybody, but he can't help everybody. But he seems, what's the word? Misunderstood by everybody. Like everybody's accusing him of wrongdoings that he forced upon them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, when I first saw him, I automatically thought he's very royal, very loyal to his people, and he would do anything for his people as do it.
You kind of cut out at the very end. Can you say that part again?
Oh, he's very royal and loyal to his people, and will do whatever to help them out.
Yeah, until he goes to kill an entire town.
Shh, that's
but he seen that.
Yeah, he's seen that. He saw the king going to kill a town.
Oh wait, it's the first fight that already happened. Okay.
that was Mr. Two.
I don't know. I kind of like. I have some questionable moments with him from time to time.
Alright, so you don't spoil anything. We will
Yeah,
hold
I'm
off
not.
on that. So, what's next? King of Justice. You have them finally landing. I forget the town they landed in. I forgot to
There
write that down.
was Iruma or something like that. There was.
Don't look at me.
Anyways.
Yeah, I forget all.
Anyways, so the whole point of Vivi going off on her own was to get information on Baroque Works to see who was actually destroying her country. And she took all of her information, put it in a letter, gave it to her duck, and sent it off.
Mm-hmm.
So, will the duck make it? Well, did you think the duck will make it?
Yes.
You thought Karu would make it?
Man,
Karu's
Karu
a god.
She was faster. I don't know if it's she. She was faster than Zoom, Flash, Superman. Like
Listen,
this man just
Yo, he stopped at a dime too to get some water, and then he just continued.
yeah. Ran a little bit. Speed.
he just said, "My queen." Now that's play.
I love that.
And then you got what was after that? You have the fighting turtle seals.
Oh, bro.
Oh wait, hold up. I'm
The
sorry.
dugongs.
No.
I'm sorry. You have
Ninja karate turtle seal things.
you have smoke. We come back to Smoker, and Smoker's trying to figure out why Luffy's after Crocodile, and then that's where he goes. Crocodile has a hidden goal, or was it that?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either Smoker mentioned it, or we cut away to Smoker, or we cut away to Crocodile and Missile Sunday talking, and there was a hidden goal besides taking over the country. So, what do you guys? I know, Tony, you know, cause since you finished Alabasta, but at this point in the story, I know you kind of have to rewind your memories a bit. But we'll start off with Pam. What do you think Crocodile's hidden goal is right now?
I figured his hidden goal wasn't to take over and rule Alabasta. It was more to put all of the blame and everything on the king to ruin his reputation.
So you think Crocodile has a spite against the king and doesn't care about the country?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Tony?
Okay, repeat the question.
What do you think Crocodile's hidden goal was? I know you know it, but at this point in the story, what did you think it was?
Cue to Jeopardy music.
I'm trying to think back to the episode. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out back then, not gonna lie.
Alright. So now we get. So after that, we get the fighting turtle seals, where Luffy tames them and makes them his army. And then he leaves them behind and half their food.
He doesn't tame them.
He essentially does by beating one up instantly.
I
Well, we have
wonder
to
if
first
that was
talk about
Usopp. Think about it. Usopp would finally have his army.
Well, Usopp got beaten up. Usopp did try to fight him, and he was like, "Oh, how tough can these guys be?" Instantly. Oh.
Usopp.
Nami's like, oh, no wait, it was Vivi. I was like, what? They're very good at kung fu. Beat up. They're very strong.
And then Vivi yet again forgets to mention something.
Bro, she's
She's constantly forgetting stuff. She's like, "I should have told you there was giant scorpions. I should have told you there was these birds that would steal your loot."
She's a giant klutz, bro. If you give her keys, she's gonna forget where she put them. Guaranteed.
And then, okay, now you get, because Ace is still with the crew at this point. You get them traveling through the desert, and Vivi finally talks about her backstory. Thoughts on Vivi's backstory?
Okay, I want to say sad. Just because even as a kid, she did all she could to protect the kingdom or the citizens of the kingdom. Like that, she was already thinking like a king or queen.
Right.
Like putting herself in a king's shoes.
Unconsciously, yes.
Understandable.
So, yeah. Pan?
Because I don't think he like thought ahead and was like, oh, I'm acting like this, so people like. No, I don't think she was doing that.
To me, I will say yes. It's very sad that she wants to see everybody, live. But like I was saying before, generally we're not going to be able to save everybody who's already going to be passing and what. So I want to say she's more not spoiled, but I guess gifted to be the daughter of the king. Like she's already given like an upbringing kind of when she's at that age, she already knows that she's going to be having the people's back kind of. I don't know how to like word it too well.
Okay.
So
I just know that the people are going to rely on her.
Well, she's gonna.
Eventually.
Well, she's. Do you think? Okay, this leads into this. Do you think she's gonna leave as a straw hat, or do you think she'll stay in the country?
oh,
I think she'll stay.
You think? Ooh. You don't think
yeah.
she's gonna be a straw hat?
Why?
Nah,
Karu the duck?
I just don't see it.
You just don't see it.
I
Interesting.
think she loves Alabasta way too much.
So I'll ask you this: do you consider her a straw hat right now?
She's a straw hat right now because she already armband saying the
Wow,
crew.
you just cut out really bad. Can you repeat?
She's a straw hat right now because she has armband saying that she's with the crew.
So why
I mean,
won't she
like-
stay with the crew?
Like,
Nami stayed.
Yeah, Nami stayed instead of going with her village, and look at everything that Nami did for her village.
But that I want to say that's kind of different.
How come? Nami's country was being tyrannized by a ruler, Arlong, and she saved it
And then
from Arlong. Once she saved it from that ruler and her people were safe, and she knew that they were safe, she joined the crew. So why won't Vivi do the same?
I just feel like Vivi has too much responsibility for Al.
So
Nami
one more
doesn't.
time you cut out.
Not, Vivi has too much responsibilities to handle in Alabasta. Nami didn't really have a lot to go off of in town name. Wow. But yeah, Nami probably. What I'm thinking, Nami didn't want to stay there, cause any more problems, just in case.
I mean, but think about it like this: Nami's life has always been working under the Theo of Arlong.
Hmm.
Her reason for staying would be her family. You know what I mean? She's already been out there exploring, kind of like risking her life, all this adventure stuff. Whereas Vivi hasn't. She's lived the royal life.
Are you comparing to saying that Vivi and Nami are very similar, or are they two like?
They're like opposite backgrounds.
Their background stories are somewhat. They're definitely different, but the way that they care for their villages are similar.
Okay.
Like, what if Vivi actually ends up liking the adventure? There's something new.
Then she'll probably become a straw hat.
All right. Anyways,
But-
moving. We gotta kind of move on.
I just don't see it.
I'm gonna ask a couple questions. So, in Vivi's backstory, you finally get to understand two people. You finally get to understand the king, and you get to see the personality the king has, following his daughter around the people. How you could see the civilians, like Koza's dad. When Koza spoke out, the dad was like, "Hey, shut your mouth, show respect." And then the king's like, "No, no, no. Your son speaks for the people. I want to listen." And then you finally get Koza's backstory as well on why he's rebellion against the king. So you finally get to meet the leader of the kingdom, and then you finally get to meet the leader of the rebellion, Koza. And what are your two opinions on them now? Finally get to knowing the king, and finally get to knowing the leader of the rebellion.
Koza is kind of like a toss up. I don't really understand him too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just kind of like all over the place.
Well,
What about the king?
I mean, I kind of figured he would be like caring for the people. I already said that.
I would say the king is better than most. You know what I mean? I had my like doubts about him, but like I respect them, and I feel like that's how like the daughter is how she is. Like it just carried down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's fine.
And in terms of Koza, he has like from a young age, even though he comes from very different background. He kind of is like a more of a dude. Like you have to earn my respect, and
Mm.
once you have it, I have your back. And
What?
wait, and I feel like him being the rebellion leader was actually destiny because of him they were able to hold off so long because he didn't want to believe it.
Okay.
Well, he didn't want to believe like the king was uh doing some stupid shit.
So here's my question to both of you. When you finally find out, you kind of known this for a little bit, when it finally is put in front of your face that they are both fighting for the same reason, like they're both fighting for the same side of a coin, but the perspective is what matters, but they both see it the same way, but they're fighting each other at the same time. Like, how did that, like, interaction, the difference between the two? We know the rebellion finally like went to war when Mr. Two disguised, but that's a little bit later. But what was your like reaction to like the interaction between the rebellion and the kingdom?
It was a little bit heartbreaking
Yeah.
because it's one of like the few instances where you see an actual deep connection between the citizens and its king, regardless of everything. And there's like that genuine trust, that genuine faith in him, blindly too, because you really don't know. And then because of this guy that infiltrated, they're literally killing each other.
You also
That's exactly how I
have
feel.
the king and Koza's personal relationship. So it's not like two random people that don't know each other. These two know each other very well. They know how each other act and everything. Because Koza kind of grew up with the king always around. He wasn't like she was some foster kid that never saw the king. The king was always around Koza. The Koza knew the king personally. Either way, Koza knows the king very well. So it's more than just rebellion versus kingdom. It's Koza versus the king, which is a very interesting dynamic in their personalities and how they clash.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, I don't know. I feel like he would be set to be a good prince.
well, talking about princes, we have Mr. Prince later on. If you guys remember who Mr. Prince is,
Nope.
Sanji. His nickname, Mr. Prince from Little Garden.
I was thinking of an actual character name. Anyways.
Anyways, after Vivi's background, and we find out more about the king and Koza, we have a bounty hunter that defeated Blackbeard and is now trying to defeat Ace.
Quote unquote bounty hunter.
Yo, my man's dad of the year though.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give
left
that.
his children to die and starve just to prove a point that their dreams can be made. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty
that
sure
is fucking dark.
You shouldn't get the dad of the year for that.
Absolutely not. It was sarcasm. The dude left his children to die and falsely, like, say, hey, you can still follow your dreams.
I was about to say.
Well, in this specific thing,
Hey, did you eat that bread? Yeah, it was only bread for 10 days. Like, oh, these poor kids. And their dad's just out here with an ostrich.
to be honest, they were starving before he went out, so.
Yeah, at least he could provide for them, not just, yeah, you guys can go do whatever. Like, oh my god. So, going off of that real quick, we're going to kind of get sidetracked here because of me. We're, what, 110 episodes in at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Just about.
I want to know, have you realized how dark One Piece is?
Yes.
One Piece is so freaking dark. It's like, you don't realize it because Luffy, it's like that thing where like Luffy's always smiling.
Mm-hmm.
But you have pirates constantly ransacking villages, taking over villages. Think like Nami's village. You have the Baratier, where pirates can come in and like take hostages. You have like Mihawk just strolling around cutting random boats apart. Like, this world is dark. You have parents leaving their children to starve. Like, One Piece is dark, but you just never notice it because Luffy's always smiling.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it.
Huh?
So if you don't take that extra second to be like, oh, why is One Piece so dark? It's because you're following the Straw Hats, who are always so lighthearted. Like, if you think about Arlong, he was a very serious man. Like, hey, fishmen are better than you. Like, like that's racism at its peak right there. Like, am I wrong though? Like, race is in the thing. Like, you got social class standings. Like, you could see it a little bit in Alabasta, where like the social class part of it, how people are instantly like, hey, don't do that when the king's here. Like, it's just very interesting how like certain aspects of the world, and it's just so much dark. And as you both go through One Piece, it's only going to get darker and darker.
It's only going to get dark.
Like, at one point, you're going to go, that's fucked up.
I mean, what's her name? Nami's mother. Bellamere, right?
Bellamere.
Like, seeing her death was, like, dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew I was getting myself like some shit, some sugar and honey iced tea.
By the way, just so you guys know, at the beginning of the podcast, Pan dropped an F-bomb. So if we're gonna get demonetized, it would have been at the beginning. So just make it don't worry about it at this point.
Hey,
just so you know. But anyways,
say anything that was said in the podcast. Be good. Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
So
eat your vegetables.
So after the really touching father left his children to starve moment, you get Ace's departure, and he gives Luffy a piece of paper. Any thoughts on that?
There's nothing on the paper.
There's nothing, but why would he give Luffy a piece of paper?
What paper? What did I miss out?
When Ace gave Luffy that piece of paper and Nami sewed it to his hat, why the piece of paper? Do you guys have any clues or ideas why just a blank piece of paper?
That I actually have no clue, and it curiouses the shit out of me.
So, okay, this is something both of you can guess on. Why the piece of paper? Why would Ace give Luffy a piece of paper?
Maybe it's like
a blank piece of paper too.
Maybe he's trying to figure out his element.
This isn't Naruto. Like, everyone knows Luffy has Gum Gum, especially his own brother would know that.
No, I'm kidding. I feel like I came up with two things. Either it's just like another thing, kind of like with the hat when Shanks gave it to Luffy, as in like a trust or.
So you think Ace is a little jealous and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you something too."
Not jealous. I'm just saying, like, he wants to test them to see if he actually conserved the piece of paper, just like Shanks.
Okay.
Or I don't know, kind of like a way.
So it's a little bit of jealousy then.
No.
If he does it for Shanks, will he do it for me?
Does this dude even know Shanks? No, he probably does.
He absolutely does. It's his brother.
Besides the point. This is not the point.
Luffy got the gum from Shanks. He got the hat from Shanks. Like, he knows it's about Shanks.
Please leave a comment down below if you want to change the host. I'm kidding.
Savage.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
By all means.
Thank you. So,
but Ace does know about Shanks.
Oh my god.
Alright, you can go. Alright, go.
We're putting this into bloopers. Don't worry.
I'm not editing anything. I just cut the beginning and end. We're good.
Go ahead, Tony.
Nah. Now Pan is going.
Now Pan's going.
All right. So, I kind of figured that there is a reason why he's giving him the piece of paper, and it's blank.
Okay.
My thought is that the more that Luffy travels the Grand Line, and the more he uncovers, stuff will start to unravel on the paper.
So you're thinking it's like invisible ink, and as he goes to different islands, kind of like a log
It's like
pose.
invisible ink. Yes.
So, and as he goes to different atmospheres and stuff, the ink will appear.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. And Tony, what was your second opinion or idea?
Well, let me clarify. The first one is not out of jealousy. It's a discipline. Okay?
All right.
Very different things. Or maybe he's just giving him a reason to see him again.
Okay.
But my second one was it's some type of secret message.
So same as Pan.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys recall, when Ace gave Luffy the piece of paper, he said, "This will reunite us one day." You don't think that meant anything?
Maybe it has like some type of
Why
tracker.
would it be a secret message when if he said he was going to reunite? Do you think it's just a
Maybe-
map? Do you think it'll be a map of where
Like part
Ace
of it. Yeah,
it's a
like part of a
Blackbeard?
map.
Or not Blackbeard, Whitebeard?
No, it didn't have anything. It was a blank on both sides.
Well, Pan's idea was invisible ink, so I'm rolling off of that.
I don't think he meant it literally.
Okay. So, after Ace's departure, they're off traveling across the desert.
Wait. I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but like right as Ace is gonna depart, Luffy asked Ace to join his crew.
Oh yeah, Ace said no. He's
And
gonna.
I said no.
Oh, that's also a good thing because
And they say, well, I guess I'll see you on the Grand Line. And the Whitebeard pirates are one of the top-notch ones out there.
yeah, Whitebeard's a legendary man. Anyways, that's a good idea. Or not good. That's a good point. That's a good topic. Did you realize Ace and Luffy had the same dream of becoming Pirate King? And Ace told Luffy, "I'm not gonna be Pirate King anymore. I'm gonna make Whitebeard the Pirate King." So Ace is giving up his dream for Whitebeard. Thoughts on that?
Maybe because he doesn't want to be the one to compete with his brother till the death.
Yeah, that too.
That's pretty actually sweet of him as an older brother. But if I'm right.
Would fit in with his character, I
It-
guess.
It could just be he's just not.
It absolutely would. Sorry, Pan, I cut you off. What were you saying?
Maybe he doesn't feel like he's up to it, but he'd rather help somebody that is up to being king of the pirate will benefit him in some way.
Ace spoke of Whitebeard. He said, "This is he's the greatest pirate I've ever met." So there's true admiration for Whitebeard from Ace. Anyways, after Ace's departure,
Question for you, Beast.
Sure.
I mean, you're much farther to the head, but
I'm a
do
little
you-
bit further a bit.
do you think if they said like we'll meet again and we'll fight, do you think Ace will betray the Whitebeards because of her Whitebeard pride because of his brothers? Not literally, but in some way.
I have very, 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 that would never happen. Just due to Luffy's personality and Ace's personality. And I can't go into detail, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
You're cutting off quite a bit, my friend.
Oh. That, I don't think it'll happen. I don't think that situation would ever arise. Purely due to personalities.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Alright.
Wait. So what you're saying is if they do fight, Ace would not interfere. Sorry, would not interfere and just see them fight to the death.
I think Ace would go against Luffy, but only it would be a respectable battle. I don't think it'll be a battle to the death. I think it would be a battle to see who would win before any death. So, like, let's say you and I fought. I wouldn't kill you. I would just beat you up and then leave you, and then we would be cool. I think it would be that kind of situation. Ace would fight for the Whitebeard Pirates, and then when he would fight, but he wouldn't let anybody kill Luffy. Like, if he saw anyone going for the kill shot on Luffy, he would, like, stop them and protect them. But I think his internet cut out. But
Yeah.
so it's just me and you for a little bit. So after that, we get what was it?
You should
Just say it.
never mind.
Okay. So afterwards, where were we? We went all over the place. Oh, we get the conversation. The crew's going across the desert, and at one point, Luffy eats a mushroom that makes him go crazy. So Zoro and Chopper go after him, and as Zoro's carrying Luffy, Chopper and Zoro have a very interesting conversation between each other. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Well, when he's carrying.
This is going to be a pause in the thing. So then we have the crew is going across the desert to Alabasta, or was it Alabasta? Or
I think it was from Alabasta, right?
When they're riding the crab.
No,
That's
that's
later on.
after. That's actually 110 when the crab shows up, but that's at the end. They're going towards some town where Crocodile is, his palace mansion.
Oh no, it might be Yuma or something like that.
Yuba is the well, where the guy's digging the well constantly. That's Yuba. But I forget the name of the town. The casino town. We'll call it Crocodile's town.
Yeah.
They're on their way there, and Luffy eats a mushroom and goes crazy and runs off. So Zoro and Chopper have to go get Luffy, but the rest of the crew continues to just follow our footprints. And this is
footprints?
So when Zoro and Chopper finally calm Luffy down, they're walking to catch up to the crew. And Zoro and Chopper have a very interesting conversation and dynamic conversation about Luffy and why they joined the crew and the crew itself. Thoughts on that conversation between the two of them?
So Oreo is right on. I mean, he said it himself. Like, the beauty of the crew is kind of like they'll work together, like when they're on the ship, for example. But like everybody just kind of does their own thing, and there's not like the captain like constantly bosses him around and tells him what to do.
Yeah, they kind of just do whatever they want, as long as they work together to get to that point.
Well,
Which is
Zoro posed a very interesting conversation. What is a crew? Or what is a successful crew? Is it when everybody follows one person? Or what is it when everyone has their own dreams and aspirations that drives a crew?
It can be both. It can differ.
Because Zoro said, some people might look at our crew and find it very disorganized and crazy, but that's the beauty in it, as Zoro said.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, that's why I think that's probably why this crew will go farther than most.
So
Yeah,
I'll ask you this. Zoro said something to Chopper. He said, but as we've gone along, I have a new goal. And Chopper asks, a new goal? What is it? And Zoro says, maybe one day I'll tell you. Or it was like something, not right now, or I'm not sure how to explain it. But what do you guys think Zoro's new goal is?
Help Luffy achieve his.
That could be it. I really don't know. Zoro's like I just want to be the greatest swords master. I don't really see him going for anything else.
I know. I think he'll like stay with Luffy, like till his last day. That's my thought.
Don't forget Zoro's first comments to when he joined the crew. He said, "If you ever get in the way of my dream, you have to commit seppuku with with my sword." If you guys know what that is when a samurai kills himself with the sword.
Yeah, yeah.
So Zoro has told Luffy, "I'll join your crew, but if you ever get in the way of my dream, you have to kill yourself." And
I mean-
Luffy agreed. Do you think that'll ever come into play?
No, and if it does, Zoro will be dead. We've already seen. Oh, no, hear me out. We've already seen it when Mihawk appeared in the Baratie, and him and Zoro fought. Luffy did not interfere, even though like he thought and he knew he was getting killed, but Mihawk decided to spare him. And at that point, Luffy jumped in to fight. So Luffy didn't get in the way of the stream. He let him fight it out. After he was defeated, Luffy went to revenge his teammate or crew member, comrade, whatever you want to call it. So I don't think that'll ever happen.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
think it was just like a thing of character for Zoro? You don't think it'll ever come into play? Interesting.
The only way I possibly see it come into play, because for him to become the greatest swordsman, he needs to defeat any swordsman that's better than him. Below him, questionable, but above him, you know what I mean? The only way I see that happening, and Luffy, like, for them to actually, like, for Luffy to not to keep his word, is if they're separated, and Luffy has to fight, for example, Mihawk, and defeat him to get the objective. And Zoro's nowhere
Ooh.
near.
That's an interesting question. Do you think Luffy will ever try to fight Mihawk?
No. If Zoro's around and Mihawk is not trying to fight him, no.
Okay. How about you, Pin?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Mihawk made a vow to fight Zoro again. So, obviously,
Well, he
they're
said
definitely gonna have another fight.
he didn't vow to fight Zoro again. He said, whenever you get better, refine your skills, and come seek me out. He never said he
Basically.
vowed to fight him, though.
Well, basically the same thing. Like, if you ever do get better, come see me.
Alright.
Come get these hands. Pretty much.
Alright.
Come get this work. However you want to say it.
So, next thing you have, there's some rocks, and Luffy does his, bazooka to get to the rocks for shade, and Zoro falls into an ancient ruin. Now, I don't want to stay too long on this subject, but any thoughts on the ancient ruins? And the weird, block text thing?
Might be some old,
Well,
pyramids that were built in the desert.
You didn't find... What about the weird text? You think it was just old writing?
no,
Hieroglyphics.
I think it's similar to the. I forgot the island, the Dragon Island.
The Lost Island.
Yeah, the Lost Island.
You think it's just old ruins that showed
No,
up?
no, no, because I think back in that, I also think those had something important.
Okay.
It's history, in one way or another.
Yeah.
I think it's significant. It's just that they can't read it, so we don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Like I said, hieroglyphics. They always have hidden meanings in them.
So, after the ruins, Luffy and Zoro catch up to the crew and Chopper. And we get into a meeting. Crocodile finally explained, we're going to take this country, and I'm going to reveal myself to Baroque Work agents, the number agents. And now you have the meeting of all the agents. You finally meet Mr. One, and you meet, what was her name? Miss Doublefinger. Thoughts on Mr. One? Thoughts on Miss Doublefinger?
Mr. One kind of reminds me of the Raikage in Naruto.
Hmm.
Go
Seems
on.
like he earned his spot by being very powerful and being, very thoughtful of who he takes out, how he does it, strategic wise.
Okay.
So that's
Quite
So
what
an
I'm getting out of
iconic duo, I gotta say.
I'm gonna ask you a question. So every single Baroque Works agent so far, besides Vivi and Yagoromo, they all had devil fruit powers. So it's safe to say Mr. One's gonna have a devil fruit power as well. What do you think his devil fruit power is gonna be? And what do you think Miss Double Finger's power is gonna be?
My guess is Mr. One's Double Poop Prowler is probably something with steel.
Why? That's
Mainly,
interesting. Why
mainly because
steel?
like steel is just such a like tough uh element, and it's very hard to knock over steel. But then again, you see Mihawk, Zoro, and everybody else just slice steel in half. But I think
So would
his
that make
steel,
him a tough opponent though?
I think his like steel type ability is his steel isn't like breakable. I guess you could say.
Okay.
I don't know what type of steel that would be, but I think he would be.
So what you're saying is just his devil fruit is steel,
Yeah.
because that was the question.
I don't know how else to go about that.
So the Straw Hats finally run into to make it to Yuba, the city of green, and everyone's gone. The whole place is deserted, and they run into Koza's father digging the well. Not gonna spend too much time on this, but thoughts on meeting Koza's father and him still digging the well and keeping the promise to the king.
Determination. That man has it. He has a lot of it.
More than determination, I think he has a hell of faith.
That too. Yeah.
And loyalty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Just finding that hint of water.
So later
That's
on the
true.
arc, it's revealed, and you've seen this in the most recent episode you watched. Crocodile's the one that's been sending the sandstorms to Yuba.
Kind of figured.
So, I agree. But, reaction to that, finding out Crocodile's the reason why Yuba has always been bombarded by sandstorms. And Crocodile's
Nice.
doing it purely to attack that one old man.
That's kind of.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, just doing it to that old man just seems like very. I don't really want to call it selfish. I guess more like he's trying to disrupt the old man from ever finding water to distribute it.
I mean, to be honest, and when you put it in the grand scheme of things, out of all the things he's done to multiple citizens, it's just one more.
Yeah, it's unforgivable what he's doing.
And yet the civilians see him as their hero.
Yeah,
And not the king or the rebel leader. They just see
Well,
Crocodile
they
as a
don't
hero.
know.
They don't know. That's the crazy part. Crocodile is the whole reason why the war's breaking out.
mm-hmm.
Okay, and then after meeting Yuba and the old man, we find out when Vivi and crew finally get to Yuba, the rebel base has been moved. And now they have to travel all the way back to Alabasta. And this is where, as they're traveling back, Luffy has this speech to Vivi, where he punches Vivi in the face.
I was very surprised.
It just looked like Luffy gave up and having another tamper tantrum. But no.
I lost respect for Luffy.
Really?
Yeah.
He gained my respect there.
Oh, so you're saying if you think a woman isn't right, you just gonna hit her
No,
in
no,
the
no, no,
head?
no. The reason why he did it, the reason why he gained my respect wasn't because he hit her.
I know.
It's not like he went an all-out punch on her. It was because she was planning to sacrifice herself to end the war instead of
And- Yeah.
entrusting Luffy and crew to actually help her. That's why he did it. He did it so that way she would realize, hey,
but the only
it's
reason
not
the-
just you.
The only reason the people writing the scene did that is to make it dramatic.
Well, yeah, why would they show Vivi or Bellamir's getting shot in the head?
What I'm saying is, if they were trying to make it like emotional, dramatic,
You're
kinda
telling me
like-
that wasn't emotional?
I'm telling you, I found it controversial. Like if I compare it to how Nami, that one specific scene where Luffy walks up to him and he's like Nami, and then Nami just turns around and says like help me, and he gives her the hat, and then I compare it to this one.
It
Like-
wasn't. She wasn't sitting there stabbing herself, though. Vivi was sitting there, not telling anyone her plan. Luffy was the one who figured out she's going to try to defeat Crocodile on her own. End up killing herself in the process. It's a
Yeah,
completely different scenario.
Vivi is pretty cool-headed though. You don't need to literally knock her.
If she was so cool-headed, when Luffy finally confronted her about her plan, why did she break down? She has a fake facade on, and Luffy saw through it.
I still disagree.
And the only reason why he hit her back was because she was punching him. He hit her
The only
once.
reason I don't care this much because it's pirates, and there's actual female pirates, and they also
Exactly.
kill each other.
Yeah.
So now you know. If I were to fight you, I wouldn't. say
Anyways, Pan, what was your thoughts on that?
I definitely did not see Luffy like hitting her. I think that was a little overboard. I think Tony can agree with me on that. But it definitely does put it in perspective that he wants to help Vivi not get killed. Because, like we already said, she's temporarily part of the crew.
You still are on that temporarily part. Eh?
She is temporary. I agree with Pen.
I don't think she's joining, bro. Let's be honest. Anyway, but she's pretty much part of the crew, and he wants to make sure that they do this together and not, lose it all together, or her losing her life while Luffy and crew aren't there.
Right. So now they also change plans. Instead of going all the way back to Alabasta, they're going to take the fight to Crocodile. And when they finally reach the town, they run into Smoker. And the crew gets split up. And again, you have Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Luffy, and Smoker all running into Crocodile's palace at one point. Smoker's chasing the Straw Hats in. And they fall into Crocodile's trap. And we find out it's a sea prism stone cage, which means Luffy and Smoker are useless here. And your opinions on that whole scenario where they got trapped?
They should have just went the VIP section.
I expected it off of the crew, but come on, Smoker.
Oh yeah, you're a big fan of Smoker.
Yes. Like, dude, you kind of saw through that by a mile away.
But
has an
he
official
was
look.
he was more trying to capture than worrying about traps.
Yeah, I know. He has an obsession with Luffy.
He does. It's a little creepy. The man's chasing him around the world just so we can have him.
I'm telling you, man. There's something about this crew.
But yeah. So not just so your entire opinion on Crocodile revealing himself, Missile Sunday coming out, and like Sanji coming to rescue, Vivi coming down, like that whole entire scene with them being down there in Crocodile's base. Thoughts, opinions on the dynamics between characters, like how you saw it was going, the bananas. Don't forget about the bananas.
The bananas.
The bananas.
Banana. The banana. I want a banana.
First of all, we get introduced to Nico Robin.
I don't think it was
Or
mentioned
Miss
here.
Sunday.
I
I was pretty sure there's a little bit more further ahead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Miss
thanks,
Sunday
Tony.
is down there. Wait, have you not seen this yet?
No, in the last two episodes, Crocodile reveals the name, Nico
Yeah.
Ramen, and how she's a very wanton woman against the government.
So he knows.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
That's all. He just knows the name and that she's wanted.
Okay, so I didn't spoil anything.
No.
Good.
Continue.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh my god.
Someone else can take over.
All right. So, Pan, your entire thought process on the dynamics and everything of the entire Luffy, Smoker, and all them being caged up, and Luffy telling Zoro to save Smoker.
Oh, so as after the room's getting flooded and
So I'm
She
saying
goes-
that entire time, like when Crocodile confronts them, to Crocodile revealing his plan, to Vivi, to Crocodile saying you have to choose between saving your country or saving the Straw Hats, to Crocodile saying I was never gonna let you do either, to to them escaping with Sanji, Mr. 3 showing up, or
don't you
Mr.
mean
Prince.
Mr. Prince.
Mr. Prince shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Ring, ring, ring. Do you recognize my voice?
Welcome to the Crab Cafe. Sanji is just the best. He's like top 5 for me now, which is great. But
Yeah, cook up there.
yeah, it was just like an emotional roller coaster ride. Like Luffy trying to stretch himself out of the cage was like, "Come on, you can do it, man, you can do it." And then Smoker just sitting there like, "We're not gonna get out of here." It's just like, come on, you gotta have more faith in everybody. And then Sanji actually calling on the transponder snail was like, "Oh my god, we keep on forgetting about Sanji, just like Little Garden, we forgot about that dude." And then to them coming up with a plan of having Chopper act as Mr. Prince, knocking all those is it the Baroque Works pirates? Yeah, knocking
And then
them down,
Tashigi
and then-
mistakes the Baroque Works for civilians.
Yeah. And then just the whole thing was just a roller coaster of just emotions. It was very on your seat the whole time.
So, what were your thoughts on finding out about Sea Prism a little bit more? How they use it all the way in marine prisons and such.
I mean, it's understandable. If you catch somebody that has devil fruit powers, you're gonna want to make sure they don't get out. So having that sea prison is more. It's more convenient for locking up people that can use their devil fruit powers and try to slip through, but now they can't because of you're all the way down to the below sea level.
What that makes me think about, is there any other weapons the Marines have made
Ooh.
with Prism? Sea
I don't
Prism.
know.
I guess we'll find out.
Soon to come.
I do know, but I know the answer to your question. I'm not going to tell you. However, this moves us on to what's it? Oh yeah, you have I forgot. Zoro was avoiding Tashigi now instead of confronting her. Forgot that happened.
Bro, like, just confess your love to her.
Oh, you think that's what that is?
I think that's what it is.
Ooh, what do you think that is, Tony?
Technical difficulties. I have to leave.
What's going on?
I'll explain later.
Okay. Alright.
Well, enjoy the podcast. I hope you have a great time. I'll continue watching.
Hey.
Deuces.
But, what's, so it's just me and you, the two amigos.
Hey. We'll see what happens.
But, where were, oh yeah. So, I lost my train of thought as well.
We're on.
Alright,
Oh,
so, now you get Miss All Sunday, talking to, or no, I'm sorry, Vivi was gonna get captured, and, oh shit, I forgot about that. Before this all even happened, Vivi got rescued by Pell, the hawk guy, and you saw Miss All Sunday's devil fruit powers.
Bro, her devil fruit powers freaks me out. She's
It was the
out of my
flower fruit.
Ugh.
You thought it was gravitational
I
based.
legit did.
So now you have the flower fruit where she can grow body parts on other people,
Mm-mm.
which is crazy.
It creeps. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, bro. Out of my top 5. Sorry.
Out of your top 5?
Yep.
Dang.
Ugh.
So okay, so after the Straw Hats escape from Crocodile, you have that confrontation with Smoker and Luffy, and Smoker, after his obsession with catching the Straw Hats, lets the Straw Hats go and calls off everybody, and says we need to order reinforcements. What do you think's going through Smoker's mind? He also blushed when Luffy complimented him.
I think low-key he wants Luffy to accomplish his dreams of becoming King of the Pirates, but then again, he still has his duty in trying to catch him for,
Right.
the Marines.
When I first watched that part, I viewed it as Smoker not really wanting Luffy to accomplish his goal, but understanding what Luffy's doing. Like he's realizing that Luffy's here to save the country. So he's like, why am I stopping the people that are trying to save the country?
Yeah.
And so that's how I viewed it when I first watched it. It wasn't like he had respect for him, but it was more on the lines of, because you're trying to save the country, why would I capture you right now when you're actually an asset that can help save the country? I think that's how that went. And when I saw that, Smoker like shot up in my list of characters.
I can understand that, yeah.
But yeah, did that like kind of move your opinion on Smoker at all?
I mean, it's a mixed bag. There's like a part of me that wants to say like, yeah, he's an okay dude, but then there's another part of me like, just stop chasing Luffy and just go try to get somebody else. Just leave him alone.
Because now you have to be thinking, what's going on in Logtown now that Smoker's gone? Because he was the whole reason that place was safe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the town is just chilling.
Well, if you recall when we were in Logtown, they said every pirate stops here to get supplies for the Grand Line. And Smoker defended it, because you have to remember, you had the Gold D. Roger bar that Luffy stopped by. Apparently it was a pirate town. And now you got Smoker there. Now it's not a pirate town. Now that he's gone again, what's going on?
Maybe we'll see some
Maybe.
ravages, maybe.
So now the crew's like, alright, we have to... Now this is where they go to Alabasta. And they're like, hey, we gotta go to Alabasta to stop the war. Because that's where the war is gonna break out.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost forgot. We forgot to talk about why the war is breaking out. It's because of Mr. 2.
Yeah, Mr. 2, you said the king. send men to kill them. No.
So he went to a town and be like, hey, I did use the rain powder. I did it all. And now that I told you, I'm going to kill all of you.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Two is just so evil.
He absolutely is. Absolutely. Then you
Like, he's
gotta...
No wonder why he's Mr. Two.
But then you gotta... What else? You have Mr. One and Miss Doublefinger ram a giant galleon into the land, and it just happens to have all the supplies the rebels needed. Crocodile's plan's coming together.
Yeah.
So after that, the crew finally sets off to go to Alabasta to stop the war. And they got the moving crab that Chopper and Eyelash got. Good old Eyelash boy.
I do not like the looks of that crab, bro.
He's always smiling, my guy.
That just screams, I want to rape your kids.
And as it absolutely that guy just clicked. Oh my god.
Bro, that crab looks like he would Bill Cosby your drink any time of the day, bro.
Jeez. Oh my god. Anyways, with that out of the way, as they're running away to go to Alabasta, not running away, they're running to Alabasta. All of a sudden, a golden hook snatches Vivi.
Mm.
And Luffy jumps in, saves Vivi, and you get the setup for Luffy versus Crocodile. And Luffy tells the crew to go. And then you have Crocodile and Miss All Sunday bicker. And and Crocodile goes, are you laughing at me? Because you want to die. And then Miss All Sunday goes, if you think you can, go for it. Like,
Yeah,
Miss All Sunday is not taking shit from Crocodile.
like before, knowing that she had that devil fruit power, I was like, nah, out of my top 5. Once she says that, she's an honorable mention.
So here's my question. With the stuff that happened at Whiskey Peak where he killed Yugure, Vivi's assistant, and from this moment here, also giving the Eternal Pose to get to Alabasta faster, what are your thoughts on Miss All Sunday? A.K.A. Nico Robin, as Crocodile puts out.
Yeah. I think she planned on, doing Crocodile's, dirty deeds while still, putting Luffy and them on the right path towards finding them.
So do you think she's for Crocodile or against Crocodile?
It's tough. I think she is against him, but she's, just doing as he says until she gets, Luffy and crew to go against him. Then I think after that, that's when she'll go against him as well.
Okay. Interesting.
So I think she was just somewhat off-put from Crocodile's ambitions, but now that she has Luffy coming in and trying to take him out as well, she doesn't want anything to do with Crocodile.
Right. So now after that, Robin kind of scurries off. He goes, I'm going to go do this. I forget what she said she was going to do.
She went to go do something.
Yeah. Now you have Crocodile versus Luffy. And Crocodile, they start their fight. And Crocodile tells Luffy, you're weak. You rely on gimmicks of your devil fruit instead of actually using any skill.
Which is true.
And then Crocodile proceeds to shrivel Luffy's arm.
Ugh.
I want your entire thoughts on the Crocodile versus Luffy fight. And how Luffy ended up getting killed.
See, like, way before all this happened, where Mr. 3 comes back and we totally forgot about including Mr. Three's, how he came back from Little Garden stating that he didn't do his job, and Crocodile's like, what do you mean you didn't do your job? You told me on the transponder sale that you did your job. And he's like, what transponder sale?
Oh yeah, and Crocodile finds out.
And then he shrivels his whole body. I thought his powers were at first, because I didn't know about the whole sand power that he had. I thought his power was what's
Like aging or mummying.
not aging, more like decay.
Oh, okay.
Because his body was like getting shriveled up and
Yeah.
weak.
Okay.
And that's what I kind of thought at first, but now that I see like sand just drains the moisture out of Lucy's arm, then it clicks to me like, oh, so that's how that happens. And then Luffy grabs a drink, and then his arm comes back stronger.
I think that was just like a funny animation quirk thingy. I think it was just like, I'm back to normal, and it like flexes.
I'm Popeye.
But then immediately Luffy gets killed.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead.
Okay. Now that we're at this point, I'm gonna start asking you some questions. I want you to give me your answer, and give me as many in-depth things as you can. Okay. Predictions on the rest of Alabasta. What are your predictions for Alabasta?
Okay. I think that the war will start between the rebels and the kingdom. That will start, and there will be fatalities. Sadly. I really don't know how Luffy's gonna bounce back from being quote unquote killed. Maybe Crocodile missed his heart or something like that, and Luffy just gains like some type of adrenaline to like take him out or something. Because when I saw him facing Crocodile, I noticed the hook.
Okay.
And
that's pretty obvious with the golden hook.
In my head, just like in Naruto, how Gaara has that gourd, I'm thinking.
So you think it's the source of his power?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe if he gets rid of the hook, that's when he can no longer use his sand powers.
Interesting.
So maybe since he stabbed Luffy through the chest with his hook, Luffy will be able to like stretch himself out and get the hook away from him, and then they can have their actual battle.
Okay. So you think Crocodile's using some trick?
That's what I'm thinking.
Alright. Okay.
Some type of technology that makes him, turn his whole body into sand instead of having an actual devil fruit, or still having the devil fruit power, but
without the drawbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. So now here's my question. Here's my second question. Do you think the king will stay the king? Or do you think something's going to happen to him? Because right now he's missing.
Yeah, he's AFK.
Yeah, he's missing at the moment.
See, I don't know. Like, where would he be?
He is missing. So something happened to the king. King might be running. Do you think the king, like, what do you think's going to happen with the king? Do you think he's dead? Do you think he's going to die? Do you think he's going to retain his power after the arc ends? Do you think someone else will take his place? Do you think the, what's his name? The leader of the rebels, Koza. Sorry, draw a blank. Do you think Koza will take over as king?
Here's what I think. And this is what is going to lead me to saying VB's going to stay. Hear me out.
Oh, I see where this is going.
I think the king isn't on the run, but is going to the place where you can find the dance powder where the criminal was that was, storing it outside of his house.
You're talking
I
about the guy Luffy first met?
Yes. I think he went there so that he can show everybody that he does care about them by using something that he banned.
He
good.
did not ban it.
Who
The
did?
world government did.
Uh,
So they kind of didn't explain this yet, so I'll give you a kind of brief understanding because it's touched upon, but if you don't pay attention, you miss it. The world government
mhm.
is overarching, but you have kingdoms inside the world government. And so like the face of the world government power-wise is the Marines. But you still have the world government that overarches and governs everything. So, and then to be part of the world government branch and protection, you have to give a small fee to the world government. So that's all I'm going to go into detail for right now. But the world government banned dance powder because they explained it. If one island or country uses dance powder, the one next to them, that's going to, like, the rain was supposed to go to, because all it does is develop the clouds faster. If, let's say,
Okay.
one island uses dance powder, the island the rain was going to hit doesn't hit them, it hits the first island. So the second island will go into a drought, which is why the citizens of Alabasta are so mad, because the king's been using dance powder in the capital, which makes the rest of the country dry out. And remember what I said before, the country's massive. Millions of people live in Alabasta. So
Mhm.
you have to realize how big Alabasta is. It's a
It's huge.
massive place. So the capital's using the dance powder. The rest of the country isn't going to be getting any. Which makes for the massive droughts. How you can have Crocodile's place completely filled with water, and you can drown people, and then you have a place like Yuba where people are literally digging in the sand for water. So yeah, sorry to go on a tangent about the dance powder.
Nah, you're fine. But yeah. So I do think that the king is gonna maybe spread the powder to every. I don't know about that one. Let me take that back. I was about to say he's gonna spread it between the 4 places, but I don't think he'll do it in the quickest.
You said
amount of time.
4.
Is there 4? No, 3.
There's a lot
Right.
of cities. This is not just
Well,
one.
the ones that were already shown.
Oh, I even forgot to. Yeah, I understand. But all right. So, what do you think's gonna happen to the king? So you have an idea of what he's doing, but what do you think's gonna happen to him and the rest of Alabasta?
I think he's gonna try to explain his innocence, but Kozo will most likely kill him because the little boy that got hit by Mr. One and Doublefinger
Okay.
didn't get out his word fast enough. So Kozo is already like, we have to rebel against the kingdom and the king. So they're probably gonna have a fight, and I think Koza gets the upper hand on them.
Okay.
And then they soon figure out that the king was actually telling the truth once Vivi and them gets back after it's too late.
Okay.
Thus leads to Vivi stating that since her father is now gone, she'll take over Alabasta and try to make it a better place.
Okay.
So she'll become the queen.
All right. So now's my next question. Now that we got that, predictions on what because predictions for Crocodile and Nico Robbins' chemistry for the rest of the thing. Like, what do you think's gonna happen to Crocodile at the end of the thing? What do you think's gonna happen to Nico Robin? What do you think they're gonna do? Like, Because we still don't know Crocodile's hidden plan.
Yeah.
So what do you think their dynamic and like how they're gonna go forward?
That's a tough one. I think Nico at some point will go against Crocodile,
Okay.
forcing his last and final plan to either be halted or to go wrong somehow.
Okay. Also, in Japanese it goes last name, first name. So her first name is Robin.
Alright, so I'll just call her Robin.
Just like it's Monkey D to Luffy. Luffy's his name. Rono Zoro. Zoro.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So Crocodile is just Crocodile. But
Crocodile's just Crocodile.
yeah, okay. My next question would be well, you already said Vivi's not gonna Vivi's staying. Right.
I think Vivi is staying.
Okay. Alright.
Whether the king dies or he doesn't.
I already asked about Ace. So then my next question would be, alright, so this is going to be like what we usually do, but now that we have more characters, I'm going to say top 3 favorite Straw Hats, top 5 non-Straw Hat characters.
Ooh.
1 out of 10 on the show, and why. And then explain how you are.
Alright, top 3 Straw Hats. God, this is so tough. Not in order, but I will say Luffy, Zoro, Sanji.
You have to give an order.
Come on, don't do this to me.
You have to give an order.
Alright, 3 Sanji, 2 Zoro, 1 Luffy.
Luffy goes from not even in your top 5 to your favorite Straw Hat. Ooh.
Because if we're talking top 5, he's not even on there.
Well, he's your favorite Straw. Like when I'm saying favorite
Oh,
Straw
yeah,
Hat, I'm talking like your favorite character. Like I'm just saying the people on the boat out of those, who's your top favorite characters?
Okay, let me switch Zoro and Luffy real quick.
Okay, I just wanted to make that kind of
Okay.
clear.
Let's,
All right.
Whew. Roll that back.
All right, now top 5
9.
characters that are not Straw Hats.
Number 1 would probably still be Mr. 5. I just like him too much.
Really? Wow. I'm surprised like Ace didn't make it up there. I really thought Ace would be your favorite character this week.
He's actually number 2.
Oh, I was close. I was close.
Number 3, most likely Mihawk.
Ooh, Mihawk.
Just his mysterious, the mysteries about him are just still grabbing my interest.
Okay.
Geez, these last 2 are hard.
Now, you did say Dragon last week was your 5th favorite or 4th favorite character. You did have Dragon in your top 5 last week. Or, no, that was 2 weeks ago. You had him as your favorite character.
I want to say he's number 4.
Okay.
Same with Mihawk. He's just too mysterious, and I want to know more.
So it's the lore behind the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
And then 5 would... Ugh, who would 5 be? I guess Miss All Sunday.
Really? Not Shanks, not Buggy, not Smoker, Colby, Helmempo.
I do not like Colby or Himempo.
Um,
They are the top 2 worst characters.
you don't like
Hands up.
Colby or Helmempo?
No.
Jeez.
They are so annoying.
Oh, Kobe's my boy.
I would say Shinx is like honorable mention as like not
How
like
about
he would be number 6.
how about Crocus, the
Crocus.
lighthouse keeper?
Eh, him and Laboon kind of fell.
All right, all right. I remember Luboon was your favorite character when you hit
Bro,
first at the Grand Line.
Laboon's my brother, bro, but some will just overcome.
All right, 1 out of 10 on the show, and why?
So far,
Wait. Before you say that, I wanted to make a comment. That was close. Whew. I had one more question. How are you liking? Because you've watched what? You've watched Black Clover. You've watched Naruto. You've watched My Hero and a couple other shows.
hmm
Here's gonna be my question: how are you liking the vast difference in characters? Like, and there's so many varieties, so many different dynamics, so many different like cultures and variety. Like, how are you enjoying that?
I kind of relate the whole like character selection on the writer's perspective. I kind of compare it to Black Clover's way of having some characters be different but still have certain elements that are somewhat similar, or like certain backstories that are similar. Like
Okay.
comparing it with like Asta, Magna, who else is a commoner?
Zora.
A few other like Black Bull members. Like
I think the only commoners on the squad are Asta, Magna, and Zora. But yeah.
like see, they all have like different elements on how they use their powers, but they all come from like similar, you know, upbringings. Just like Nami and Vivi coming from like somewhat different childhoods, but loving their village so much that they will protect anybody and anyone in it.
Right.
I kind of like the diverse characters, but they
So
all have like similar goals.
now my question is, now this is only the first part, like not even first part. I would say like you're just touching the Grand Line. But yet you've been on such a journey like with the crew and everything. How are you enjoying the world building? Like there's so many like in Alabasta you're learning about a lot of stuff, but there's still so many unknowns like Dragon and Mihawk and Shanks and like all these other characters like Garp, the teacher of Colby and Homempo. Like there's so many different things about the world you just don't know about. Like how are you enjoying the world building aspect of One Piece?
Like actually going through like the different types of like I guess kingdoms are what they call, or islands, I guess would better fit.
Not every island's a kingdom. Like Little
Yeah,
Garden.
yeah. Like Little Garden, yeah. Like seeing different types of islands, like going from like jungle, like rainforest to frozen tundra to hot desert, cold nights. It's very diverse on what you're gonna get in each one.
How are you enjoying it though?
I do like that it's fresh. Like every island is something new, something fresh, and it
Do
brings a different challenge to, you know, the Straw Hats.
do you kind of, because for people who've never really watched One Piece, they look at the length of the show and go, "Wow, that must feel like really dragged out and boring." You know what I mean? As
I
100 episodes, you're finally 110 episodes in, just over 100 episodes in. Are
Mhm.
you like myself who has watched the entire show? Can you kind of see how the show keeps it fresh and new?
Yeah.
Like, because if I recall, 100 episodes into Naruto, if you take out all the fillers, you just finished part one.
hmm
So, like, do you kind of understand how, as myself, someone who's caught up, it was trying to explain like it's gonna be fresh, it's gonna be an amazing story, and it's like a journey. Like you're growing with the Straw Hats, you're like journeying with them through all this different crazy places, and you're gonna experience something very fresh and new. Can you kind of understand like how the show's going to keep it so fresh? It's not gonna feel really long, and instead it's gonna feel like a journey.
Yeah, because you're always seeing something new that's being brought onto the table. Not to throw like an anime under the bus or anything, but like with Naruto, you kind of stay in the Hidden Leaf Village for majority of the whole thing, and then you start venturing out into the Hidden Sand, and then you venture out into the Hidden Cloud, and that's what made it feel fresh because now you're journeying outside of the Hidden Leaf.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of pick up back what you said. When it came to like Naruto, it was like, oh, Hidden Leaf, Hidden Leaf, Hidden Leaf, bam! Here's the entire world all at once. Whereas
Exactly.
like for One Piece, it's like, no, we're slowly introducing it.
Yeah, like you don't even know what's coming up next.
It's like the idea like they mentioned Alabasta like 600 or whatever. They mentioned like Alabasta like a while ago. Like
Mhm.
as you first got into the Grand Line, but you're finally getting it. It's just like the world government. They just mentioned it in Alabasta, but like it's just, you know what I mean? It's they're slowly building it and they're teasing it so far in advance. So like Arlong Park was teased in Baratie. It wasn't just like, oh, now that we're done with Baratie, what's next? No, they were already setting that up by Nami leaving. They're
Mhm.
already, like, you probably haven't even realized, they're already setting up the next place. But you just don't realize it. But when you finally get to it, you're going to be like, alright, so they're
Yeah.
very seamless. Like, you don't even know what the next place is, but they're already preparing you for the next place.
Yeah.
Like, especially with, when we were in Little Garden, Nami got bit. You didn't, it was something so minute, you would be like, oh, she just got bit, whatever, cool. But now it's developing, and now it's this. It wasn't just like all in one episode, bit, this, that, bang. Like,
Yeah.
that's the one thing, like, you'll notice about One Piece. Between places, it's so seamless because they built it in the previous arc. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Because, like, when they were going to, like, they kind of threw it at you, but, like, when you were meeting Laboon, they instantly threw, VV and Mr. Nine at you. But that was already setting you up. You were in that arc, but you were already set up for Whiskey Peak. In Whiskey Peak, you had that moment where Luffy was like, I decide where this ship goes. And you're seemingly already into the next arc.
Yeah.
That's one thing that like you'll kind of notice. It's just like it's so like I love the foreshadowing. Because now if you go back to, let's say, Arlong Park, you'll notice like there's certain things they're already talking about the Grand Line with. The East Blue becomes so much better when you finally get to certain parts in the show because of the callbacks. And like they're further explaining what actually was going on in the East Blue. That's one thing you kind of appreciate is like as you are right now in Alabasta, if you were to go back and watch Whiskey Peak, you probably will enjoy it even more now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you have an understanding about Baroque's works, Vivi's character, why she was acting the way she was, because she had a different accent and everything. Yagura, the guy with the wig that got killed by Nico Robin.
Mhm.
Mr. Nines, like there's so many. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but the world building is just so good. You're just going to enjoy it more and more as you go on, and the further you go into the story, the bigger the world is. And it's not because of places you've been, but it's places you haven't been.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. Anyways, I piggybacked off of your piggyback off the piggyback. And then
Hey, piggybacks all day.
but yeah, that's just like it's such an interesting dynamic. Like, yeah. Anyways, 1 to 10. How are you enjoying the show and thoughts on the show up until this point?
So I'm fairly enjoying the show, and I definitely want to keep watching, especially after Especially after this podcast is over, I'm probably gonna watch a few episodes. Anyway, um, it's a 1. No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely a 9.5. I'm loving it.
Ooh.
It's like another Naruto.
Okay.
Because, like I said before, Naruto was more like, oh, it's nostalgia. I want to watch it again because I watched it as a kid. And now, One Piece, I seen it as like a kid, but only for like a few episodes, and then they took it off the TV. Now I'm actually able to see what happens.
So,
And I love it.
so here's going to be a follow-up question what you just said. You're giving One Piece a 9.5. This is a what did you give it last week for Drum Island?
9.5.
So this is the third week in a row you gave One Piece a 9.5. For people listening, what show is a 10 for you? Has there any show that you've or any anime you watched that you're like, it's a 10? Or is One Piece like been the highest rated or like among the highest rated for you?
Black Clover and One Piece are neck and neck.
Ooh. Okay.
So far, they haven't like wooed me into like that's a 10.
Okay.
No doubt, 10. No anime has done that yet.
I
Naruto Shippuden was like a 9.
I think one, especially with the end of Alabasta and the next couple of arcs, I think One Piece will hit 10. I really do. Mark that down, put it in the comments, clip it, whatever you guys want to do. I can guarantee it'll turn into a 10 at one point. I think you will get it to be a 10. So, with that being said, his top 3 Straw Hats were
Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro.
in what order though?
In that order, from
So it goes
3 to 1.
Oh, okay. So Sanji's 3, Luffy's 2, Zoro's 1. Top 5 characters that are not Straw Hats are, in order.
So 5 is Miss All Sunday, 4 is Dragon, 3 is Mihawk, 2 is Ace, and then 1 is Mr. 5.
Okay, and then you gave the show 9.5. So next week we will be covering episodes 111 through 143.
The biggest one yet.
This is actually not. I believe.
Never
I can take a look at my notes real quick. I believe the longest one yet was. Wait, how? No, this is the longest one. Yeah, because Arlong Park was 14 episodes. This one is going to be 33.
I was about to say like 30-ish.
Yeah, it's going to be 33 episodes. So this is our longest one yet. It'll be concluding all of Alabasta. And then from there I'm not going to say any things, but we will have a short podcast after that, and then we go into a different podcast. For people who have watched One Piece, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in next week for the finale of Alabasta.
Hey.
And, yeah. Hopefully Tony will not have a technical difficulty, and we will try to have a guest on. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.
Deuces.